some world attractions are superior to the rest, and the Eiffel Tower and the Parthenon are just two examples of attractions where you can snap a picture that will immediately tell people where it was taken. Some location, however, may be less well known to first-time tourists or those who have not yet been to such out-of-the-way locales. But today, we will provide places that frequently offer the best value for tourists. So, if you're compiling your own bucket list of travel destinations throughout the globe, this video will feature the world's best attractions. Do you enjoy our videos? Subscribe to our channel and be sure to turn on the notification bell. Now, let's get into it. Starting off the list at number 10. Anne Frank House, Amsterdam, Netherlands. 1.3 million visitors per year. Since its inception in 1960, the Anne Frank House has attracted over 1 million visitors yearly. While the Anne Frank Home Museum is quite crowded, the house is a dynamic space worth seeing. Even if you've never read the Diary of Anne Frank, you're surely aware that she and her family lived in the attic of an Amsterdam house. It is one of Amsterdam's 3 most famous museums and is highly recognized worldwide. The place and hiding spot where Anne Frank stayed during WWII remains and has been turned into a museum for tourists. And the good news is that you may actually go there. The museum has all her journals and manuscript documents. The Anne Frank House also became a vital hub for other activities. The museum was refurbished multiple times as the number of visitors increased. The Anne Frank House not only depicts Anne Frank's life and times, but has also built an exhibition space to emphasize various types of persecution and intolerance. Coming in at number 9. Christ the Redeemer, Brazil. 2 million visitors per year. You've probably seen the images of people gathered beneath the enormous, white replica of Christ. The Christ the Redeemer statue, one of the 7 wonders of the world, spreads its shadow over 2 million tourists yearly. Easter Sunday is either the finest or worst day to visit Rio de Janeiro, depending on your perspective. In recent years, the statue has welcomed around 14,000 visitors to the Holy Feast. What makes Christ the Redeemer so interesting? It took 9 years to build. The construction began in 1922 and was completed in 193. Reinforcing concrete and 6 million soapstone tiles. For those curious, soapstone is a metamorphic rock. The soapstone originates from a quarry in Ouro Preto in eastern Brazil. The total height of Christ the Redeemer is 98 feet, not including the pedestal's 826 feet. On the other hand, the arm's width is about 92 feet, and it's the heaviest Art Deco statue ever made at 635 metric tons. The monument is not just the most recognizable landmark in Rio, but has also become a cultural emblem in Brazil. Most notably, the monument has become a global symbol of Christianity, bringing millions of Christians and non-believers each year to the peak of Mount Corcovado. Next on our list, number 8. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. 2.6 million visitors per year. Angkor Wat, the most extensive religious structure in the world, is Cambodia's crowd favorite. This sacred building was constructed in the 12th century and was once the heart of the mighty Angkor Empire. This is undoubtedly the greatest eye-popping attraction in Cambodia and one of the main lures to Southeast Asia. The spectacular religious buildings and monuments inside the vast temple complex are architectural marvels. UNESCO has recognized Angkor Wat as a World Heritage Site because it is the biggest Hindu temple and one of the most spectacular archaeological monuments in the world. If time is of the essence, your visits should be limited to Angkor Wat, Angkor Thom, and Ta Prohm. Movie-like humanoid creatures decorate the temple of Angkor Thom. Trees have either been carved into the stones themselves or grown around Ta Prohm's temples. Angkor Wat's initial construction dates back to the early 12th century when it served as the state temple. It is the pinnacle of Khmer architecture and a monumental feat of human ingenuity. The colossal temple complex has been mostly unharmed despite its location amid the thick jungle. The complex's enormous size and intricate design hint at the former empire's splendor. Currently, yearly attendance at Angkor Wat exceeds 2 million people. Next, at number 7, Acropolis of Athens, Greece. 5.8 million visitors per year. The Acropolis of Athens is a rocky cliff that rises above the city of Athens. It is home to the ruins of several important ancient buildings, the most famous of which is the Parthenon. There is evidence that people lived on the hill as early as the 4th millennium BC, but it was in the 5th century BC when Pericles took charge of building the most famous buildings there. During the Mauryan War in 1687, when the Venetians were preparing to attack Athens, gunpowder stored in the Parthenon was hit by a Venetian bombardment and blew up. This caused a lot of damage to the Parthenon and other buildings. Despite continuing repair efforts, crowds of observers traveled to the site year after year, welcoming around 5.8 million visitors. Walking amid the perfectly maintained historic structures provides impressive views of the city. Now, at number 6, Eiffel Tower, France. 7 million visitors per year. The Eiffel Tower, located in the center of the most romantic city in the world, has become an international symbol of tourism and a famous tourist attraction. Many people's bucket lists include a visit to the Eiffel Tower, which is not surprising given the 7 million visitors who take pictures beneath the 81-story structure. The tower stands 1,083 feet tall and has a square foundation that measures 410 feet on each side. Visitors may access the structure on 3 levels, where the topmost platform is 906 feet above the ground, making it the tallest public observation deck in the European Union. Even though there is a stairway to the top floor, it usually is only accessible via lift. Indeed, it is a sight to behold, and there is nothing quite like viewing it up close and personal from numerous spots across Paris. Coming in at number 5. Forbidden City, Beijing, China. 16.7 million visitors per year. One of the most visited locations in the world is in China. And while its name may imply otherwise, the Forbidden City is open to visitors daily. The Forbidden City, in the heart of China's capital Beijing, is a defining symbol of the country's history. It took around 1 million workers 14 years to construct this massive royal palace from 1406 to 1420. The court has 980 structures and more than 9,000 rooms across 720,000 square meters. With that, it served as a residence for 24 Ming and Qing emperors during its history. The intricacy of its design is breathtaking. Exquisite attention was paid to detail, and traditional Chinese design was prominent throughout. Every gate of the Forbidden City features a 9x9 array of golden door studs. The total number of nails used on all the doors is 81, spread over 9 rows by 9, except for Donggua Gate. In traditional Chinese culture, the number 9 symbolizes omnipotence and immortality. Next, at number 4, Niagara Falls, Canada. 30 million visitors per year. Now, we reach a North American landmark that attracts more than twice as many tourists as others. The Niagara Falls in New York and Ontario, Canada, are a colossal group of 3 waterfalls, with an impressive 6 million cubic feet of water flowing over the falls every minute. Current estimates put the number of visitors at about 30 million per year, making it one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. These spectacular waterfalls are great destinations to spend a night or two and is easily accessible from Toronto. You may get a close look at the water tumbling over the side of the valley by taking a boat trip, or you can get a different perspective by walking up to the edge of the falls or along the paved trail that runs along the gorge. Visit the top of the Skylon Tower to get a bird's-eye perspective of the falls. You can even head to the falls at night to witness their dazzling illumination in the dark. Let's continue at number 3. Central Park, New York, USA. 42 million visitors per year. New York's most famous green spot spans roughly 850 acres in the heart of Manhattan, and despite being the world's most frequented park, it still provides plenty of space to stretch out. Central Park is one of the world's most iconic public parks, beloved by generations of New Yorkers and visitors worldwide. The park's walks, lakes, and historical landmarks have drawn city people and visitors since it was founded in 1858, and it has been used as a backdrop for several movies and television series. One interesting fact is that this is the most filmed park in the world. You may explore the park's several hundred plant varieties, visit the zoo, and attend music and activities. The most renowned is Shakespeare in the park, which you will undoubtedly appreciate as you see the performances in the urban park. Aside from the plethora of activities that have helped Central Park become the most frequented tourist destination, the admission price is also free. Next, at number 2 on our list, Las Vegas Strip, Nevada, USA. 42.5 million visitors per year. The Las Vegas Strip in Nevada, USA, is the world's second most visited tourist destination. The Strip, as it is commonly called, is lined with hotels, casinos, clubs, and entertainment venues. Bugsy Siegel, one of the most prominent criminals in the United States, founded the Flamingo, and other mobsters assisted in developing the Strip. There were 8 million tourists every year, even in 1954. Currently, 42.5 million people are expected to visit the Strip in 2021. Even if you are on a tight budget, you may still enjoy the evening environment on the Strip because, in Vegas, casinos provide free alcohol to all gamblers. More than 75% of all visitors to Vegas stay in hotels on the Strip, and during peak seasons, it might feel like everyone is there at once. And now, the number 1 on the list is Times Square, New York City, USA. 50 million visitors per year. Times Square is a prominent business junction that hosts one of the most spectacular New Year's Eve countdowns, attracting around 50 million visitors each year. On December 31st, at least 1 million people attend the annual Times Square ball drop. Each year's astounding number of visitors merits a first place among the world's most visited tourist sites. It was initially designed to replace fireworks shows, but it has now become the centerpiece of Times Square. Being an art and business center, Times Square has various advertisement boards and public art for you to enjoy. The beautifully illuminated crossroads generate a distinct nightlife that many people desire. There are also costume characters throughout Times Square. Although they are not officially licensed, Times Square has no admission charge. However, Broadway performances and theaters will need you to purchase a ticket. And that brings us to the end of the video. Traveling the world and seeing various attractions is a great way to learn about other cultures and get a fascinating glimpse into the places you visit. So, it doesn't matter where you go, you'll always be at the right place. Regardless, most places on this list do not disappoint. So, what's your favorite attraction? Please comment down below. Again, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Take care.